Namaste. Hello and welcome to Zoom Yoga number 54. As ever, we'll start with an opening quote, if it can be classed as a quote. Imagine you go to the bathroom first thing in the morning and there's a sign on your mirror. There's a sign staring back at you on your mirror, and the sign says, "This is the person responsible for your safety today." So first thing in the morning, you look in the mirror, this is the person responsible for your safety today. So I guess that would involve your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual safety. You are responsible for your own safety each day. So after you've obviously come out of the toilet, then it's time for breakfast. So we'll sit down and start to stir porridge. So with the straight back, we're sitting with the legs slightly apart. It's up to you how far apart you have them. It will obviously change the effect of the stretch. We're going to have our arms parallel, and we're only trying to keep them parallel. And we're going to imagine we're stirring a big pot of porridge. So in Scotland, it's called a spurtle. You're holding a big stick. It's a long stick without the spoon shape at the bottom. And as we exhale, as we go forward clockwise, around, inhale as we come back. So if you feel that it's too much for your hamstrings, then you just take the feet slightly closer together, and that will lessen the stretch. Nice and slow, inhale as we come back. Exhale as you go forward. So you're not dropping the head and you're not dropping the arms. So of course, if it becomes uncomfortable, you just stop, have a few breaths, have a rest, and you start again. But nice and easy. And you're trying to increase the size of your circle, the circumference of your sternum. Exhale forward, inhale back. So as I say, try to keep the arms parallel to the ground. So you don't want to drop the arms. You don't want to land in the pan of porridge. And it's up to you how many you do. So you start clockwise, exhale forward, inhale back. You're rolling in the hips, which will help to reduce adipose tissue. You're stretching the back, contracting the arms, and the pelvic area is getting a good workout. Nice and easy. And you'll find just with the movement, you'll want to stretch a little bit further each time as the muscles, tendons, and ligaments start to release. So a couple more in the clockwise direction. You're rolling side to side, forward and back. A very simple exercise. Exhale and inhale. Give yourself a wee break. Sit tall. Rest the shoulders and arms. You can feel that slight buildup of lactic acid. If you're sitting tall, you might feel the contraction of the thigh muscles as well. So if you want to give yourself a break with that, you just gently lean back, keeping the chest open, and ease the back. Just take a few slow, smooth, deep breaths. Completely relaxed down through the spine. You're still keeping the spine long. You're not slumping, but you're just leaning back, having a wee rest. Full yogic breath. Inflate the abdomen, expand the rib cage, and a final puff of air up in the top of the chest. And then we'll go back to it anti-clockwise. So the arms straight out, parallel to the ground, anti-clockwise, around to 1 o'clock, around, and then inhale as we come back. Exhale forward, Inhale back. Simple, simple movement with breath awareness. You're trying to keep the shoulders relaxed. You're trying to keep the arms relaxed. So you're not tensing, you're not gripping tightly. Everything's slow and smooth and almost effortless. And you get a lovely stretch for your hamstrings. Your abdominal organs are getting a squeeze and a release. You're rolling back and forth on the hips. So maybe 5 more anti-clockwise. Slow, smooth, deep breaths. These are simple movements that anyone can do at any time. Give yourself a wee break again. Lean back, open the chest, keep the arms straight. Slow, smooth, deep breaths. Rid the body of the lactic acid. Now that we've made the porridge, we're going to go on a wee picnic. So we're going to go row out into the lake. So we're going to row the boat. So legs straight ahead, parallel. And we're going to start as we exaggerate the movement of rowing. So we slide the fists down the leg as far as comfortably possible. You lift up, exaggerate the movement as you pull the oars back. The fists are up just above your shoulders, and then you're pushing down along the legs, nice and easy. Again, you're keeping the legs flat so you get a stretch in the hamstrings, pulling the arms back, exaggerating the rowing movement or the rowing action. Exhale as you go forward. Inhale. You're squeezing the shoulders down. Nice and easy. Deliberate and slow. Exhale as you go forward. Inhale as you pull. Make sure you're focusing on these deep breaths. You're getting the air down to the lower lobes of the lungs, alveoli. To get rid of the stale air, fresh air into the lower lobes. And now we change direction. So we exaggerate the movement again. So we're pushing up, forward, and then coming back in. So we're reversing the direction, stretching right up, forward. Pulling along with the fists, taking them right up. Nice and easy, rhythmic. Exhale forward. Inhale as you pull back. You might perhaps feel a nice warmth, circulation. Nice and easy as the body's beginning to release. You're just aligning the movement with the breath and the awareness of the sensations. A couple more. We have a wee break. You have 2 options. You can sit tall, place your hands on your knees and sit tall, which has the effect of contracting your thighs, which can be uncomfortable for some people if you're not used to sitting in this position. Or again, you can gently lean back, keep your arms as posts, lean on them, and open the chest. So pick the one that works for you today. So you're keeping the back straight, you're not leaning back and slumping. It's straight, it's long, the chest is open, or you can sit tall, which requires a bit more effort, but is exhausting in the lower back and the thighs. So now we're going to ring some church bells, old-fashioned way. So we take our right hand, we inhale as we stretch all the way up, and that's a stretch you're taking forward as you're clasping a thick rope. Imagine there's a thick rope in front of you, and then you pull it down. Ding. So we're just going to alternate. So then the left, inhale as you stretch up, you get a lovely stretch through the intercostals. I'm getting a pull down in the hip area. That's the stretch you take forward. Arm fully elongated, clasp firmly the thick rope, dong, as you pull down. Now, usually, if I'm teaching a class of 30 people, I'm saying ding, dong each time, and there's a cacophony of noise. But for some reason, this microphone cuts out with a continual ding, dong sound. But there's nothing stopping you sitting at home, doing your ding and dong audibly. Ding, as you sing it out, as you pull the right arm down. Inhale, stretch up, out, dong, as you pull the left arm down. I say when there's a group of people, it's a wonderful vibration that reverberates around the space. Ding, dong. Again, rhythmic. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, pull down. You're lengthening the back. You can feel what's happening to the hamstrings. You can feel what's happening to the thigh muscles, even the gluteals. Remember, you're not being passive. You're really stretching and taking the stretch out. So you're not just stretching up and letting go of the stretch as you go forward. Exhale down. 3 or 4 more. You can see how these simple movements have warmed up the body, eased out any tensions. More importantly, with the deep breathing, you're oxygenating the blood. You're cleansing the lungs, and you're calming the nervous system, bringing clarity of thought. So now you lean back again. You can sit tall or lean back. Chest open. Give the back a wee break if it's uncomfortable. So you can stay in this position, supporting yourself with your arms, or you can come to sitting upwards, straight up, but right away the thighs contract, and it does take a bit of effort to keep the back straight. We're just going to pull the toes back with an inhalation, just the toes, not the ankles. So we inhale, maybe I should move back so you can see. Inhale as we pull the toes back. Exhale as we tightly squeeze. Inhale, pull. Exhale, squeeze. So as I say, you can continue sitting with the straight back, which is a lot more strenuous than alternatively leaning back. Keep the back straight, but supported with your arms and your chest open. Inhale, pull back with the toes. Exhale, squeeze. So you think of the work at the feet and the ankles have to do all day supporting you, keeping you balanced. So this is just a way of giving them a little treat. Really relax, immerse yourself in the practice. Slow, smooth, deep as you pull the toes back and inhale. Wait for your natural pause. And then as exhale, squeeze and contract. So these type of movements, you can really go deep and lose yourself. Just focus on the physical movement, the breath synchronization, and the feeling of relaxation. Already I feel like smiling, just with the peace and tranquility that's beginning to sweep over me. So now we introduce the ankles. So we inhale as we pull the toes back and then pull the feet back. So you got a lovely stretch through the calf muscles. Your heels may come off the ground, they may not. Inhale as you pull the toes back, pull the feet back. Your lovely stretch through the calf muscles. Wait for your natural pause. And then exhale, push, point the toes forward, and then squeeze. As I say, if your lower back's getting a little bit fatigued, don't be shy just to lean back on the arms, but keep the back straight. Nice and easy. Couple more. Keep your awareness on that breath. So now we're going to circle the ankles clockwise, both at the same time. Exhale as you go forward, inhale as you pull back. Circle the feet. And again, you can feel all the structures being released, being contracted, being stretched. Minimal energy, minimal effort. Inhale, natural pause, exhale, point. And we're going clockwise with both feet at the same time. And now we change to anti-clockwise. If you hear a bit of snap, crackle, and pop, this is okay. These are the ligaments, the tendons, just shifting into a different position. Or sometimes it's synovial fluid in the joints. Synovial fluid has air bubbles, so sometimes it's that popping. But as long as you do it slowly, with the breath and awareness, you're less likely to do yourself any damage. Now, instead of having the feet going in the same direction, we turn them inwards, going in the opposite direction. So the big toes are coming around. Whichever direction you've started with, they're going in. And then change. Give yourself a wee break again, lean back. Remember, you don't have to do all of these one after the other. I'm just showing you them in this order, so you have a choice to break up the practice as you wish. You can stop the video, you can introduce a stretch, a posture of your own, and then go back to them. So now just become, as you're resting, you're leaning back on your arms, just become aware of any sensations, of any warmth, any tingling, any tightness, any discomfort. And then you'll be able to decide if these are beneficial for you or not. Just take a few deep breaths. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. So now we take the left foot on top of the right knee. Now, there's different ways of doing this. They say you rest the foot on the knee. What I like to do is I like to rest the foot. I take my left hand and put the ankle on my hand. This keeps the boniness of the ankle off my thigh muscle. And we're going to do ankle cranks. So clockwise, inhale up, exhale down. As you're gently cranking the ankle, the left ankle with your right hand. And be careful not to help. Your leg muscles are completely passive. It's the hand that's doing the work, taking the ankle and cranking it. So be careful to turn off that mechanical movement of the foot helping the hand. It's the other way around. It's a hand turning the foot. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you go down, clockwise direction. Very relaxing. Smile. So again, you can try it without the hand underneath. Some people prefer just to rest it on the thigh muscle, but I don't like that because the bony ankle bone can dig in. So I just like to cradle it. And then change direction, anti-clockwise. And this is where you'll find there's a bit of resistance from doing it in the opposite direction. So just try and shut off the mind for actively moving the ankle. It's a hand that's moving the ankle. Bring your awareness to the straight back. You haven't slouched down and rounded the shoulders. You're sitting tall. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're only focusing on the movement of the ankle. A couple more circles. Then we'll change leg. As you go deeper with this, and you're doing it in your own time, and you won't have my voice interrupting you, and you can go much, much deeper and much, much slower. And really slip into a meditative state. So release the left leg and straighten it a couple of times, just to realign the knee. Then we take the right leg, place it on the left knee, hand underneath if you wish, and we'll repeat the process. Whichever direction you're starting on, it doesn't matter, clockwise or anti-clockwise, and then you reverse it. But you inhale in the upward movement. Exhale in the downward, nice and easy. Slow it right down. And try not to help the movement. It's a hand that's moving the ankle, not the other way around. And change direction. Take your attention back to sitting tall. Check that your shoulders are not rounded. And smile. Remember, a smile is a curve that sets everything straight. The universal language of love, a smile. But more basic than that, it's free serotonin. When you smile, you release serotonin through your body, a happy hormone. But often I find just by doing these simple movements with the breath, I always involuntarily want to smile. A couple more rounds. Perhaps you're finding that the need to move is lessened. You want to slow down the practice. You want to deepen the practice. So release the right foot. Straighten it a couple times. We're going to do kneecap contraction. So all you're doing is, again, you have the choice of sitting tall like this or leaning back. All you're doing is contracting the knee. So you're contracting the quad muscles, heavy muscles in the front of your leg. You're contracting, holding, and releasing. We're just pulling up the patella, kneecap contraction. And it's a very strong contraction of the muscles. So inhale as you contract, hold, and then release. It's a strong one, so if you want to take a comfort breath before you do the next contraction, then please do. You can place your hands on your thighs if you wish. You can feel exactly what's happening. This one's more strenuous than it looks. Your ankles are popping off the ground as well. Check that your back is still straight. Check that your shoulders have not rounded. You've not become lazy and slumped into the posture. And then give yourself a break, because next we're going to do knee bending. But have a few breaths. Again, lean on your rest on your arms if you wish to. Open the chest. Check that you're still keeping the back long. These are quite tiring one after the other. So of course you can pause the video, have a break, and come back at leisure. Slow, smooth, deep breath. Wait for your natural pause. Remember the seed of meditation. When you're waiting, you're not holding the breath in. You're allowing it to remain in until it's done its work, and then you naturally release. Once you release, you're not holding the breath out. You're allowing it to remain out until the body naturally feels like taking on board more oxygen. So after these simple movements, I feel too relaxed, almost too relaxed to speak, which I know is difficult to believe if you know me at all. Okay, so we're going to do the right leg. We're going to bend at the knee. So we take our hands and place it under the knee. And we exhale as we pull the knee towards us. And then inhale as we straighten the knee, straighten the leg, and straighten the arms. Exhale as we pull the leg towards us, bend at the knee. Inhale, exhale. So you feel what's happening with the arms, the shoulders. The knee is getting a nice movement without any strain or pressure on it. Keep the back straight. You're completely straight in the leg. The full weight of the leg is being held by the hands. And then you squeeze and exhale. Again, this one is quite tighter in the arms. A couple more and then change direction. Change side, sorry. Have a break if you need it. Press the pause button, take a few breaths. But if you're feeling fine, you just continue, change sides. Get the hand under the left knee, pull it towards the body. Inhale as we lengthen and relax, straighten the arms. Exhale as you squeeze. Very subtle movements, but very effective. Again, just always check that you're keeping the back straight. And the shoulders relaxed. If you get discomfort, then you stop, lean back, and lift the buttocks up off the ground. Balancing on your heels. A couple more. I'm sure you get the idea. Again, back to the base position. Very relaxing. Just take a few moments for the body to recalibrate. Feel the warmth, any tingling, the sensation of the circulation. My body is rested. My mind is calm. My heart is at peace. My spirit soars. Thich Nhat Hanh, who recently passed away. He passed away a few weeks ago, a Vietnamese monk, so send him some love. My body is rested. My mind is calm. My heart is at peace. My spirit soars. Right, I believe now it's knee crank. So what we do is we support the right leg, hands under the knee, and we're trying not to move the thigh muscle and hip. And we're just going to circle the lower half of the leg. So it's a knee crank. So you inhale as you lift the leg up. Exhale down. And you feel there's a reasonable strain in the thigh muscle, but you're just trying to get as much of a circle as possible with the lower leg without moving the thigh. Clockwise, inhale up, exhale down. So this one can be reasonably tiring. So you only do a few initially until you build up the muscle for this particular movement. We'll change direction. Anti-clockwise, inhale up, exhale down. And again, this is important, but check that your back's still straight, because the tendency is to slouch and lean back. And don't over tire the muscle. Once you start to shake, or you get out of breath, you know you've gone too far, so you have to stop. If you start to shake, it means the primary muscles are exhausted, and it's the secondary muscles that are taking over the movement. And they're not fit for purpose. Last one, and then we'll change leg. Sit tall, have a wee break. And enjoy the process. Enjoy the breaths. Remember, 70% of metabolic waste is released through the lungs. 70%. So just by sitting here, resting with the chest open, with the arms straight, with the back long, breathing slowly and deeply, you're ridding the body of 70% of metabolic waste. The other 30% is supposedly urine, sweat, and feces. And when you feel ready, we do the knee crank for the left leg. So we clasp under the knee, we lift it off the ground, we get our base position, shoulders relaxed, back straight. And, well, you can start clockwise or anti-clockwise, whatever works for you. I'm actually starting anti-clockwise for some reason. Inhale on the upward movement. Exhale on the downward. Nice and slow with awareness, with the breath synchronization. And I lost a bit of concentration there myself, and I started to slump, so it's easily done. Keep the back straight. And then change direction. You can certainly feel this on your thigh muscles. Couple more. Again, legs straight out. And back to the base position. Sitting tall. Slow, smooth, deep breaths. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. Slow, smooth, deep breaths with your natural pause. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. Just as I said that, my arms completely released any tension and my shoulders flopped. Okay, so now we take, it's a half butterfly, I believe. Now we take the right foot, place it on the left leg, just above the knee. Comfortably on the left thigh. Breathe in and move the knee upwards. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the right hand on the right knee, breathe in as we move the knee upwards. Because you're lifting this strong limb. Wait for your natural pause. And then exhale as you gently push down. Now for some of you, you will get your knee right down on the ground. For me, that's not possible at the moment. So we just continue, inhale as you pull the knee up close to you. Wait for your natural pause. And then exhale as you push down gently. So this is just releasing any tension, deep tension in this area of the body. And of course, you feel what it's doing to the arm, the chest muscles, the shoulders, having to pull this heavy limb upwards. Check it, your back still straight. And check it, everywhere else is relaxed. Couple more. Again, you can do as many as you wish. You can set a number in your head, 5, 8, 10. I generally don't set a specific amount. I just like to do the repetitions until I feel that I need to stop. I don't get caught up with a certain amount each day, because each day we're different. But as long as you do something. Release the right leg. Straighten it and bend it a couple times, just to realign everything. And then we do the left. Sit tall. Remember, in this one, you're inhaling as you pull up, because you need the energy to lift this. Wait for your pause. Exhale as you release. And gently push down, not aggressively, just a suggestion to stretch the structures. I find this very relaxing. Slow, smooth, deep. A couple more. If you've been sitting all day in an office, these are the type of things you can do late at night before you go to bed, just to ease away any tension. Of course, they're not dynamic, so you're not getting yourself all fired up before going to sleep. They're very calming. Release the left leg. And then a couple bends just to slowly, just to realign everything. Hip rotation. This one is minimal movement. We take the right leg again. Place the right foot on the left thigh. We're going to take our, we're just going to try and rotate the hip. So I get minimal movement in this one. So we're just taking the right hand and we're trying to circle with the right knee. So for me, it's such a subtle movement. For others, you'll get a much bigger circle. My hips are very tight with cycling, swimming. Clockwise. Inhale an upward movement, exhale in the downward. Hip rotation. And then change direction, which I have even less movement, go in the opposite direction. But as I say, if you were to do these, supposedly you're meant to do a posture 30 consecutive days. And then you will know that posture inside out with every mood, with every movement you've had, with every emotion you've had in that 30 days. So if you were to do something like this for 30 days, I'm sure you would notice the benefit and such a release of energy as well. But apparently there are over 72,000 postures. So it's a bit of a challenge to visit them all on a regular basis. Couple more and then change leg. As always, stretch the leg out. Realign. And then change. Left foot and right thigh. Then we'll rotate the hip. It's a good workout in the arm as well. It's a good workout in the shoulder. And it's not load bearing. So it's a gentle release of tension. And because this side for me is looser, I was doing it too quickly. I lost a bit of awareness, so I've slowed it down again in line with the breath. So it's easy to let your mind drift. It's easy to fall into a dwam, as we see in Scotland. And change direction, whichever one you were going on. Inhale as you pull up. Exhale as you push down. Very relaxing, very cathartic. Couple more. So if you like this sequence, obviously, and you manage it, no problem, you can do them all one after the other. If you found them too tiring, then you pick a few and slip them into other postures of your choice. So release the leg, straighten it up a couple times. I'm going to do the full butterfly. We're just going to take the soles of our feet together. And then we'll clasp our feet with our hands. And just sit tall, sit up, and you'll feel you're getting a lovely, lovely stretch in the inner thigh. So just inhale as you sit tall, exhale, relax. A gentle pull on the feet and relax. So I prefer this. As you inhale, you lift up and you get a stretch, exhale, relax. But another way is just to gently move the knees up and down. I'm not a great fan of this bouncing, but some people enjoy it. I prefer to do it more slowly and just gently inhale as I push down. Exhale, relax. Inhale, push down. exhale, relax. But some practitioners, some books suggest this. So try the two approaches and stick with the one that works for you. Don't worry, when you're bouncing up and down like this, don't worry about synchronizing the breath. I prefer the inhale, gently push down. Exhale, relax. You can also take your hands off your feet if you wish. You can place them down beside your ankles. And then you can use the elbows here. So we inhale, and then you pull in the lower shins, and then push out with the ankles. Sorry, push out with the ankles, push out with the elbows. My apologies. So this one here, inhale, and pushing down with the elbows and the knees. That's a lovely stretch. And again, try and keep the back elongated. Don't round the shoulders, don't curl up into a ball. Try and keep the clasp position. A couple more, and then we'll release and we'll go into animal relaxation, which we did last week. But because we've done all these releases, we'll try it a bit more challenging position. So we we'll stretch out our legs first. A couple of times, just to make sure everything's fine. And then we're going to lean over to our left, take our right leg around. And then the left toes go in line with the knee. Remember, we did this last week, animal relaxation. But what we did last week was we lay directly over the left knee. So we walked out. If you turn right around on your mat, so you can actually stretch the length of the mat, which keeps you cozy if you're on a cold ground, as I am. So last week, we just stretched right out over the thigh, and we got stretched through the gluteal. So I'll just show you what we did last week. Right out, walked out, settled down. But for some, that's already too much. For others, nothing would have happened. So what I want you to try today is, instead of going over the thigh, you take the foot a little bit away from the knee and you go over the lower leg. So we're not going directly over like this. We're coming around and going over the lower leg. I will not get very far in this position, but it's a completely different stretch from last week. And you just start to walk your fingers forward. For some people, you will still get flat on the ground. I certainly can't. But this is a completely different stretch. So you just start to come down. A few breaths at a time, and then you just keep walking your fingers out. Animal relaxation. Then with time, you can bend at the arms, rest on the elbows. I'm not going to get much further than this. And you get that lovely stretch through the gluteal, through the lower back. And as you begin to straighten your arms, you get a stretch through the upper back as well. And you can try and take a breath in from between the shoulder blades. Use your visualization, which stretches the upper back muscles. Totally relax into it. I'm not burying my head down because I'll chew my microphone. Well, I can do it if I don't speak. Try to keep the fingertips in line, which means you're getting an equal stretch through the upper back. So try to imagine the breath is coming between the shoulder blades, stretching those muscles, and as you exhale, you soften and elongate the back. A couple more breaths. And slowly walk out. You can lift your arms straight up if you wish from the forward position, but it's very strong in the lower back, so I don't advise that. And then we change sides. So we'll lean to the left and release the right leg. Then we'll reverse sides. Tuck the left leg around. Get into a comfortable position. The toes are in line with the knee, but you take them slightly further forward. And instead of going over the thigh, you try and go over below the knee, which is a completely different stretch. And for me, this one's very uncomfortable because I've damaged my lower back on this side, so I have to be very careful. But you can still give it a stretch, just with the awareness that you have to be more gentle. So even if you have a damaged area, you can still do certain stretches, but more cautiously. You see my movement is very limited in this one, but walk out your arms. Remember the 6 seconds. It takes 6 seconds for muscles, tendons, ligaments to start to help you. But we've warmed up all these areas. So it's a very strong pull I'm getting in my gluteal now. Breathe, stretch, release and relax. Animal relaxation. Couple more breaths and then gently come out of it. Release your left leg. Release your right. And I actually forgot a movement during the sequence. When we were doing the knee bending, you can actually do both knees at the same time, which is a balance, and it's quite a strong one if you're comfortable with your stomach muscles. So remember, we were doing the knee bending, one leg, and then it was the other one. You can actually do both at the same time. You can try this if you wish. So you have to get the balance. You're balancing on your buttocks, you're stretching out. It's double knee bend. So it's strong in the thighs and it's strong in the abdominals. Stretch, balance, and strength. Stretch and strength and balance. Okay, we're just going to finish with any seated position you wish. So I think you know by now, my favorite one is Vajrasana. So get in any seated position. You can lean against a wall, you can sit in a chair, you can sit in Sukhasana. You've got the recovery position. Any comfortable position. Get yourself cozy. You can always pause the video, put on a jumper. Adjust your clothing. Because that's basically an hour of these subtle movements. And now we want to get a little bit of the benefit. So it doesn't get more simple than this. Comfortable seated position. And we're just going to repeat the mantra, let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. Or if you have your own special mantra, if you have one that works for you, this is a time to use it, because we've created these spaces, we've had these subtle stretches, we've done a lot of breathing. So just sit in silence and repeat your own mantra, or repeat, let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. Allowing the body to breathe naturally. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. And as you're sitting there, I'll finish with a quote. So remember the opening quote was a sign on your mirror each morning when you go through to your bathroom mirror. This is the person responsible for your safety today. This is the person responsible for your safety today. Which ties in well with the finishing quote. You have to teach people how to treat you. You have to teach people how to treat you. But always with love, warmth, and compassion. Thank you very much. Namaste.